Hey everybody, welcome to the Savoy. Hey, haha. We were talking about how we would dance at the Savoy. I'm a big pointer. Very,
Oh,
very like Elaine from Seinfeld.
oh my gosh, Matt.
Okay, it's not that bad.
A much better dancer than Elaine, you guys. Come on.
Now I picked up my dad's two-step. If you need somebody to just go side to side,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe throw in a little bit of shoulders, because my dad doesn't do the shoulder part. I might be able to throw in a
He
shoulder.
does. He's had a couple of shots, he does.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the 10th floor. It's me, Matt.
Hi, everybody, it's Kat.
Get on out of that waiting room. Put down those stale, false, fake cookies that nobody's bringing since Chandra hasn't been able to be here to inspire the party. But that's all right. She'll be back. She's doing well. You know, she's very involved in her family's sports
That's good.
adventures.
Good.
So
That's
yeah,
good. That's a good reason not to be here.
yeah. So she's heavily involved in supporting that, and so that's what takes her away from the 10th floor every once in a while. But we miss her while she's gone, and her chair's warm. Nobody else sits in it. We just put a little heating pad on it to just make sure it doesn't get too cold.
There you
But you know,
go.
we have to celebrate because at 9 a.m. for Days for Dummies, but also at 11 a.m. right here on 10th floor, after 2 months of being away because she found herself without the internet. Kelly Publicover is back in the chat, everybody. Welcome back, Kelly.
Yay!
You missed so much.
Yeah.
So hopefully you're catching up on any soaps if you missed them.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Hope so.
I don't know. Because, strike time is over. We got the regular writers back on GH, and folks, it's pretty great.
It is. Stories are moving forward. Things
Jeannie
are
is
happening in
here.
Port Charles.
Michelle is here. Taiwan is here. And we'll see who else shows up. Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn. There we go. There we go. Anyway, so, climb all the way up to the 10th floor with us. The elevator doors open. You look over to the left, over chilling on the chill couch. The new chill couch, by the way. Did you notice the new chill couch?
I didn't.
They have the original chill couch,
Yeah, the bench,
which is a bench,
kind of.
you know,
Yeah.
you know, just a
Yeah.
random place for somebody to sit in a hospital hallway. And then they have
Mm.
another one that's more decor. There's a table. There's some stuff behind them. The couch is more comfortable. And
Oh.
it's so the set, right? And they have
Yeah.
the elevator and they got the roundabout around the
Yes.
elevator.
Yes.
And the
The
bench,
roundabout
the
around the
regular bench
elevator.
I'm talking about is here next to the examination room.
Yes.
So the
Yes.
examination room goes, and then they got the two walls for the office, examination room, whatever it is they need
Yes.
that room to be. So on the other wall, not the one that
Mhm.
faces the elevator, but the one that
Uh-huh.
faces the nurse's station, they
Yes.
set up
Yes.
this other chill area, and they filmed
Oh.
some scenes there.
I don't know why I didn't pay attention.
I don't remember who was having. I think Carly was having the scenes. It was clearly in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not 100,000% sure what was sitting there. But I remember seeing it.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kate. This is Kate's first time watching live. Well, Kate, we're happy to have you.
Well, welcome, Kate.
Oh, goodness
Never
gracious.
too crowded in the elevator.
Never,
Never,
never. Plus, we're all
forever.
up here on the 10th floor. We're describing locations. Okay? People are talking. People are talking about what do we do? What do we do? What's going on, man? Our families are falling apart due to these secrets that we've been keeping from each other. You know? And then you look over at the nurse's station, you can see Finn and Liz still head to head trying to figure out this whole mess that he's in.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
hey, Ma, what's this
Yeah.
thing? This thing that just popped up.
Is it a timer?
There's a timer. I don't. Why is there a timer up
Hmm.
here? Ma,
Well,
the timer has started now. It's counting down from 30 minutes. I don't understand. Well, this usually means one thing here on the 10th floor, doesn't it?
usually means good news,
I
typically.
know. So I guess we're going to have to find out in 29 minutes and 45. But we did a 30-minute countdown at 9 a.m. We revealed that Remington Hoffman is going to be right here on the channel at 11 a.m. next
We
week,
did.
January 28th. Remington Hoffman from Days of Our Lives. He plays Li Shin.
Yes.
Now there's
Brother
another
Wendy.
countdown. We already made one announcement. What could this one possibly be?
I don't know. Could it be that we have two sources of good news?
Is there a second thing that we need to say live right here on the 10th Floor Podcast channel? Holy smokes.
Well, hang around and find out what we got.
I
About
know.
28 minutes left.
29 minutes and 4 seconds.
Well, better stick around and find out.
Oh my God. Okay. Well, hey. Oh, geez. Ooh. Oh, I'm getting all nervous. You know, like, I don't know. My adrenaline is starting to pump. I'm starting to feel anxious.
Anxious.
I'm starting to feel a little on the edge. A little like I don't know how to control my emotions anymore. You know?
Like that.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of how I'm feeling right now. Drew is so angry, Ma. Like, I get what they're doing. I get, you know, he's had enough. He's been through so much, yada, yada. But he's so mean.
They have spun him on his heels, haven't they?
They have.
Yeah.
They have. And he's just such the opposite. I get that they're really trying to show, like, something is going on with Drew. Like, they're really leaning into that.
He's going to wind up having some real anger issues.
You know, like he already seems to have them, you know?
Yes.
Like, I just want to beat you up. You know, and they keep on talking about him getting beat up in Bentonville and getting beat up in Bentonville and getting beat up in Bentonville and getting beat up in Bentonville. And, oh yeah, my poor mama, she's recovering. She's recovering from a bout of a little bit of an illness. So she'll be back here in just a moment. But what I'm talking about, though, is they keep on talking about how he keeps on getting beat up in Pentonville. But we keep on glossing over the little factoroonie that he got beat up because he's a terrible prison spy. Jeannie says, cue in the Drew voice.
Okay, I came back.
Me getting assaulted in prison was kind of my own fault. It wasn't because of what Nina did. It's because I'm a bad prison spy. It's because he was trying to help Sonny, because he decided, I'm going to find out what's going on with Cyrus and his visitor. Why was Austin here? Let me dig into this. He dug into it for about 45 minutes before getting his butt kicked because he's incredibly bad at it. Nina, and this isn't the start of like, let's defend Nina, Carly's wrong. This is not what I'm doing. I'm just talking about this specific part of the story. Nina had nothing to do with Drew getting assaulted in prison. That wouldn't have happened if he made other choices while there.
That's true.
So they keep on, well, he was there and he got assaulted, he got beat up so bad, you know, like the thing that was the worst part about him going to jail was the fact that he got beat up in jail.
Yes.
It had nothing to do with her.
No, but she's still the root cause.
She is still the reason why he was there.
Yes,
that is undeniable.
Yes.
There is not going to be some mystery blindfold that gets pulled off of the audience's eyes where we find out that it was actually Tracy that reported them or something like that. That's not what's going to happen.
No. That's not going to
happen. Well, Kate says that GH was great this past week. And because of moments like this, I agree. I think GH has been on fire since the strike ended.
I thought it is pronounced difference.
Yeah.
I think, and for the better.
Yeah. No, things are hitting harder. Well, no, here I don't want to say things are hitting harder because GH, you know, when it comes time for them to pull the trigger on things, they pull it and it's fun. It's just getting to the trigger pull has been kind of a challenge.
To me, I think you know, a lot of it I've really liked, and the biggest difference is, you know, is things are moving forward now.
Yes, and so
things are moving forward and evolving.
Every week, the stories are crawling forward. And I'm not using crawling as a negative, as a pejorative, as they say in the smart circles out there. I'm not saying that as like, oh man, it's crawling, it's slow, it's boring. I'm saying it as in there is movement every week for these stories. And before there hadn't been. I don't want to say they're running because they're not running. You know, we're not in a completely different place Friday than we were Monday for the most part. We were this week when it came to like the Spencer stuff. But other stories, you know, were still, anyway, I've done a good job of explaining what I'm saying. Uh, Melissa, hey Melissa, Melissa's here. Oh goodness
Hey
gracious.
guys.
Hi, hi. So, yeah, we can talk about that mess. We can talk about Granny Gate. Because Granny
Oh,
Gate, Granny Gate before, you talk about it's like, oh man, the Granny Fight 2023. Granny
yeah.
Fight 2023 is over. It's 2024, and boy, oh boy, have we moved on to new things when it comes to the
Yes.
rivalry, the enemy ship, the
I was
one-upsmanship between Carly and Nina.
Yeah, and I was beginning to think that Carly was gonna they kind of led us to believe that she was gonna take the high road and kind of leave it alone. Just pay attention to Bobby's, do my thing, love on Drew. That's what it seemed like. Maybe she was gonna take the high road. And she forgave Michael, didn't really let him off the hook completely, but did forgive Michael just as most of the audience, including myself, thought she would.
They argued about that, they tiffed. I don't want to say argued.
Yeah.
But, he was like, "Oh man, I did this stuff. I feel bad about it, and here's why." And she goes, "Yeah, that was the wrong thing to do, you dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this was a hurtful choice. We're upset by it, but it's not going to be like I'm not going to call you tomorrow morning to find out if you slept okay, kid." And I get that. I
That's
think,
how it ended.
yeah, when it comes down to it, there's there's a number of people out there that don't like Carly. They don't like Carly. They haven't liked Carly for a number of years. It's just something that they decided, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Valid, invalid, whether or not you can back it up with receipts or not, or all that kind of stuff that you want to do on online social interaction, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But there's
I
there's
don't.
there's a number of people out there that have decided that they just don't like her. But she is, in my opinion, one of the most well thought out, well rounded, and well fleshed out characters that they have on GH.
I think so too.
And when it comes down to it, the way that she approaches things as a mother, I find to be very authentic. The way that she approached things as a daughter over the last couple of weeks has been very authentic.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of authenticity in the Carly character. Whether or
There is.
not people are
There is.
happy that she runs this business or is the editor in chief of this, that, or the other thing, there's no denying the quality in the relationships that she has with the other characters.
Yes. It's just, I'm a big Charlie fan. I love Carly.
Yeah.
I just kind of always have. Now, is Carly different than the Carly we saw that, from the other actresses that portrayed her? Well, yes. And
Mm-hmm.
also just she was a young woman then.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Carly's been on for a very long time. She's going to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
she's just not she's still a spitfire and too compulsive. She's still all that,
You
but
know,
she's not as conniving as she used to be.
no.
However, she looked like a badass in that leather
I said on
get
Twitter
up and
that
pencil skirt, right? Oh
yeah, I said
my
on Twitter she
gosh.
needed
She
wrestling
came to
entrance
play.
music for that.
Sorry?
I said on Twitter that they needed wrestling entrance music for that.
Right?
Yeah, like
They needed some kind of something.
where he's
Yeah.
standing there and he's like, you gotta sign this termination agreement, and it's like, oh, fine. She does it under protest, and and then she just walks in with that saunter and the hair and the clothes, and you just needed like a if you smell what Carly is cooking, dum, 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 dum,
Her
dum,
smirk was
dum,
just
dum.
really.
It was good. It was good.
She
It was
looked
a good
so
moment.
satisfied, didn't
She
she?
was so satisfied. And so, going back to what you were saying, where well, they were trying to make us think that she was taking the high road. You know what? You know what I think we have is just different aspects of this rivalry. She's talking to Michael about SEC, about jail time, about Nina did this and we kept this secret, that, and da 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 da. And she's like, I want to be beyond that.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to be beyond sticking it to Nina. She just wants to be beyond being so dragged down and in the midst of this specific SEC prison. You did this to me. You kept this secret. You blah, blah, blah. She wants to be done with that argument, but not necessarily the war.
No, and she's got someone to battle with too, because Drew's out want to. Oh, He's smelling blood in the water too, isn't he?
Yes. Now here's the
He
big
really
question,
wants to
though.
stick it to Nina good.
So they're on the same page right now. Drew and Carly is, but as
Hmm.
time goes forward, Nina may be satisfied with this. Maybe this is her victory thing. She took
Hmm.
my hotel. I took her magazine. Boom, we're done.
Yeah.
And that might not be enough for Drew.
Well, no, Drew's like we said, he's got some anger issues. He's angry.
Yes, he is angry. He's very
Yes.
angry because he
And
got beat
he's,
up in jail of his own fault.
well, you know, I think it's kind of, I think it's kind of goofy in a way because if he was going to come back, if he was going to be this way, his behavior was like this, you would make sense that he would have been like this when he came home from Crete.
Right. I think that was the more traumatic experience,
Me
was
too.
being locked away for years by Victor.
Too.
They've done a reasonable job of explaining it. When it comes to an in-universe, in-story thing, they've talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
After all of this, after Creed, I found myself in a role that really wasn't me, but I felt I needed to live up to the expectations that the family was putting on me to be
Yes.
the ball of joy. But that's not me. And we have examples of that with the Drew character before.
Yes.
You know, Drew Kane, as played by Billy Miller with Jason Memories, you know, he wasn't like, you know, he was a little more loving and lighthearted than Jason Morgan was, but he wasn't
Yeah.
doing cartwheels and, you know,
No.
playing house and putting on funny hats and, you know,
No, not really.
no.
He had his moments, but no.
But he was still there to get in somebody's face and tell them
Mhm.
to back down and, you know, buck up in positions he needed to, and not just be like, come on, guys, let's just be friends. You know,
Mhm.
that really wasn't him.
I wasn't
And we
that, no.
especially when Roger Howarth was playing Drew, like real Drew Memories Drew.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roger Howarth before Cameron Matheson was the only depiction of normal Drew
Yeah.
than we had previously gotten. And he wasn't very friendly either.
No.
He was very like, I don't care what it is this body had been up to in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
You know,
Walls, walls, walls.
yeah, walls, all sorts of walls. So
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, you know, there has been some sort of history when it comes to the Drew character that sort of supports this attitude. But the launching point seems to be a little too recent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what it comes down to.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, when it comes down to it, that's a minor criticism, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm,
Always, Jakari,
you
just tell
know,
us anything.
I'm not mad about it because you know I want to see Cameron Matheson depicted a different way than what he has been for
Yeah,
me.
yes. Yeah, you know, we call for a couple of characters to maybe grow a little bit more of an edge. And
Yep.
Drew was one of them. We talked about Chase as well, but I think Chase is going to continue to stay just that really, like, kind of innocent dude.
I think so too, because I think you know, there's the whole Gregory storyline that has to be told with
Yeah,
Chase part of it.
yes, yeah. And when it comes down to it, Chase as a character, Chase as a concept, an idea, as a theory on an ensemble cast, it's a good idea to have somebody that's like a Griffin Monroe or a Harrison
Mhm.
Chase, who is kind of morally better than everybody else. To
Yeah.
have something to compare to clash against, to have somebody that really comes in to be like, if you push this character to a certain degree, it feels different because it's less deserved.
Hmm.
You know, there's some entertainment to explore in having at least one character that isn't a trash bag. Ultimately, you know, like them or hate them, also characters are trash bags. You know,
Yeah.
they've all done something.
That's
All of
true.
them have done something.
They have.
Cameron, the Canadian cutie Matheson, says Kelly. It's true. It's true. People love him up there in Canada. Same
Yep.
thing with Dominic Zamprogna.
Hmm.
Taiwan thinks that Jason's personality is bleeding into Drew, and he's having some difficulty trying to keep some of those anger urges from the Jason side from bleeding through.
I think you're onto something there.
That might be something to explore, especially since
Yeah.
Steve Burton's on the way back.
Yeah.
You know, now would be the time to start laying the
And
groundwork of story.
if they don't have Drew written out and so I can't see why they would do that. There should be some kind of interaction between Drew and Jason at some point in the next few weeks, I hope.
Mm-hmm.
And when their story left off, they were in a good spot as brothers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They did. I mean, they were coming together. They were working together a little bit. They were actually doing the grease thing together, I believe.
Yes, they were.
I think Drew actually saw the cave-in that landed
Yes.
on Jason. That was witnessed by Britt, by everybody.
Yes.
So yeah, there's definitely, hey Rocco. Oh. So there's definitely room. There's all kinds of room to explore in a Jason return. All sorts of relationships that can be reignited between him and Carly, readdressed between him and Drew, or even explored really in detail for the first time, like his relationships with Jake and Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're teens now, and what we have already set up in the past is kind of a little bit of a differing personality. Or not person, of course they have different personalities, but different takes on approaches to trouble.
Sure. Sure. When Jason had the rocks fall on his head,
Yeah.
those little boys were more like, 10, 11 years old. And now they're supposed to be 15 or 16.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So, there's between 14 and 16 type of, in your teenage years
Yeah.
type of characters. Clearly, Jake is supposed to be like the oldest of the group. The actor looks the most oldest, and I think Jake has been around the longest.
I think so too.
So,
Yeah.
and plus the same actor playing him the longest as well. They've replaced all of those kids. Scarlett Fernandez left and came back.
Boy, they sure did have her just like, well, I guess she's just doing fine, getting better, huh?
We're talking about how things are crawling forward, but then there's other stuff that's been left behind in the dust entirely and it hasn't been touched upon in months. Part of that, again, has to do, I think, with transition time. That Charlotte, Anna, all of that stuff, Pikeman, which I guess is completely over now. That was heavily, like Strike Story.
Yeah.
And since we're not in Strike Story anymore, and we got the other people who weren't writing those stories, who don't have an emotional connection to those things that have been written.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to leave that behind if you don't really know what you want to do with it. If you want to wait until James Patrick Stewart is back.
That's true.
Because he's off filming. Any number of different things could be influencing it. But we'll see. I think Jason coming back is a prime opportunity to reignite some of that stuff, to bring some of that stuff back in the light. And I'm not saying, oh, this is our chance to feature a 15-year-old actor prominently 5 days a week. It's not going to be about Jake and Danny. It'll be about Jason's reaction to Jake and Danny. But I think that is good story that should be explored, especially since he's got two kids now. Well, one of them is like, guns are bad, and the other one's like, oh, I could have done more. Where we can have one that's like, I hate that you died twice on me, Dad.
Yeah.
And the other one going, I appreciate and respect how much you do for us, how you're willing to put your life on the line for our protection. I think it could be very interesting.
We'll see if they're gonna, we'll see what they do when he comes back. Or they get, and in the past he hasn't been all that present in his children's lives.
No, because he keeps on dying.
And he keeps on dying, yeah.
So chat is debating as to whether or not Steve Burton has filmed any scenes yet. The answer that I have to that is I have no idea. I don't know. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. You guys probably have a better idea than we do.
This is my guess. If he hasn't, it sure will be any day now.
Yeah, right.
It's gotta be.
Right? Any day.
Yeah. We only got a week left in January.
I mean, yeah. I suppose.
You days, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, Jeannie's referencing the podcast that Steve and Bradford do on that one website that I feel weird about mentioning it because they're a rival of Soap Opera News,
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, it's where you find that podcast. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, so they have it. They have
Pretty
it. It's
dang
out there.
easy to find though.
Yeah, just Google it and you'll find it real easy. Or you just look at what Jeannie wrote in the chat, and it's not a real thing. It's not real. I don't want to promote them. I don't hate them. They're fine. It's Daily Drama, dailydrama.com. Go check them out if you want to. But Soap Opera News is where my heart is because that's where you can find things that I write. And you know what I wrote this week, Ma?
What did you write this week?
I wrote this week the Performers of the Week article on
Oh,
soapoperanews.net. And do you know who the Performers of the Week on soapoperanews.net was this week? There were 4 of them.
don't. Oh, there was 4 of them. So there's one for every show?
No. The accolade was so difficult to give out to just one actor this week on General Hospital that we had to give it to 4 actors.
Oh, okay. Avery Pohl.
Nope. Close cut. But there was a reason why she didn't make it. And that is she wasn't in this particular scene.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about Adam Huss. I'm
Yeah.
talking about Nicholas Alexander Chavez. And I'm
Yes.
talking about Joey and Jay, or whatever their names are, Clay. I think they're Joey and Jay Clay.
The babies were
The babies.
incredible. The babies stole the show. There was a great scene. And yes, I heard all the dialogue as well. It was a great scene.
Yeah.
But that baby, he was just so darling.
So
like,
adorable.
Oh, and he was like, hey, Adam.
Yeah, I like if I ever have a chance to ask him, I want to know how long Adam Huss hung out with that kid, or if he's just like, oh, hi.
Yeah. And then he just cuddled on him.
Yeah.
And then he cuddled on Nicholas Chavez too, and fell asleep.
Fell right asleep, and that makes me think that that makes me think that they were able to successfully film that scene one time without any breaks, without having to go and swap out the kid for his twin or anything. Because once that kid fell asleep, they were asleep.
Yeah.
Weren't even really bothered being asleep and being handed to another person.
I loved it all, but they surprised me, you guys. I don't know about y'all, but they surprised me because I thought that maybe they would get where they were, but I thought there would be a lot more confrontation, a lot more fighting, a lot more yelling at one another to get there.
I really liked that we didn't get all of that fighting because that's what we expected,
Yeah.
And it means something totally different for Nicholas to walk in and for Spencer to be like, I'm your dad. Like that shows a lot between the two of them. And I think that shows the relationship between the two of them that the fans have been wanting to see, or at least the vocal fans on Twitter have been wanting to see, is more of that undeniable, unending, unconditional bond between Nicholas and Spencer.
Love bond of the two of them.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of a very endearing stuff as Spencer as a child, Nicholas as his dad back in the day. There was lots of endearing, cute father-son stuff to make us really believe that, they have an unbreakable bond, even though that Nicholas is a scoundrel, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a scoundrel. But I didn't think that they were going to play it, that Spencer gave up the baby so easy. However, I do kind of understand why. Because he is totally submerged in the fact that she understands, she remembers, and she's more dangerous than ever.
He has convinced himself. And it's so weird because I think that Esme or Nicholas has shown more of a danger to Ace than Esme has.
Yeah. He's more radical, isn't he?
He sure is. There's a difference between being somebody, I don't like you, I don't trust you because of things that you've done to me. I get that you're worried about her, warping his fragile little mind and all of that sort of stuff. But there's other influences in this kid's life than just Esme. Yeah. If he has access to those other influences. Spencer has removed Ace from these influences and given him to just a bad one. Yeah. He might see Nicholas as less of a problem than Esme is, but hey, Spencer, do you think that Nicholas makes good choices on the regular? His answer should be no.
Yeah. And even though Esme was so awful, and we all know it, and we all know that she's so awful. However, they have shown us nothing but a caring, loving, sweet mom.
Right. And they showed
The
that too,
character
even
of
before
Esme.
she bumped her head and lost her memories. They showed the loving bond that she was developing with Ace.
Yes.
The Christmas tree was what triggered her memories, and that was all tied into, bonding with Ace. That was,
Yeah.
oh
Yes.
goodness.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And she is gonna go off the rails. I think she's gonna just lean into her badness, because Esme has now thought that she's done things the right way, and it got her nothing.
Nothing. So now I'm just gonna do bad things again. I'm gonna
I'm
start
just
lighting
gonna
cars on fire.
lean into myself. And of course, she's being kind of rejected along the way. Not really by Laura, but she is kind of being rejected along the way for help. Going to Cyrus. It's only she's gonna be talking to her mom in the next week.
Oh, definitely.
Mom's
And
gonna hatch a plan for her.
I think that on one hand, did Esme want Cyrus to do something more direct about it? Yeah, for sure. On the other hand, he did something that Esme, it's better that Esme didn't do directly, which was let Laura know.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
So since Cyrus was the one that told Laura and not Esme, that gives her a little bit of a distance, so to speak.
So, and of course, Cyrus appears to have done the right thing by telling his sister, but didn't he make a phone call as well to somebody?
He probably, yes. Cyrus has got, both hands working, right, at all times.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I just got a message on Instagram saying, "Hey, I can't find your podcast on the apps. It's okay. Don't worry. If you can't find them, I'm going to fix it right after this. I'll take a look. I'll see what might be happening. If you can't access the newest episodes, I'll try to fix that." For the audio listeners. Whatever, I'll look into it.
I hope it's recording. My gosh.
Oh gosh, it's recording. We're definitely recording. We have the library on YouTube, and I've been uploading to the audio platform. But if people are having access or difficulty accessing that library, I'll definitely take a look at it.
Take a look at it.
1000%.
Yeah, so I was just surprised. I didn't think. I thought that they might have some fussing and stuff. And I thought maybe Spencer would leave with him.
I thought for a moment too. But I guess the love for Trina is too strong. But here's the thing. Once Trina finds out that Spencer gave away Ace, come on, right?
Right.
There's no way.
I don't think her reaction this time is going to be finally.
There's no, I don't think I just don't see her going.
I don't think so.
You did, okay, well, that seems like a reasonable choice, Spencer. I just, ugh.
Well,
it's called Clyde and Salem. Come on, you people. What is it with your multiverse jumping?
Esme is going to lash out everywhere. She's going to be so mad, so betrayed. She's going to lean into everything. And to a little bit of degree, I'm kind of on her side.
Yeah.
Tiny bit.
A little bit. I get it.
Tiny bit. I don't, all that stuff she got by with. Do I think she should still get by with it? No. But to punish her through her child, when she's been a good mother, she's never even put the baby in danger.
That's the thing. They're like, oh, she's such a danger. She's such a danger. Not to Ace. Not to Ace. She's not a danger to Ace. Mama, there's 10 seconds left on this timer. Now there's 5 seconds left on this timer. 2, 1, 0. That is it. Okay. I don't know.
What's going on? The news?
We're here. We're at 0. The news. Because we already talked about this at 9 a.m. Ma. We already know that Remington Hoffman is going to be here on this channel on January 28th at 11 a.m. He plays Lee Shin on Days of Our Lives.
He sure does.
Or did. I don't know exactly how to describe it. But he was Lee Shin on Days of Our Lives. He's going to be here next week at 11 a.m. So what could this one possibly be about? Well, according to my program notes, on February 4th, which is a week after Remington Hoffman's appearance, live right here on the 10th floor at 11 a.m., we're going to have ourselves Tanisha Harper on the show. Jordan Ashford is going to stop right here on the 10th floor. February 4th at 11 a.m.
Isn't that fabulous? Yes. The 10th
No,
floor is
not Adam Huss. Everybody's guessing Adam Huss, but no, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. He's busy doing other. I haven't reached out. I haven't asked yet because, my God, you pull up the internet and you will find an interview with Adam Huss. Yeah. He's all over right now. So, maybe when it comes back on the next time, So there's even more to talk about. Anyway, what are we talking about Adam Huss for?
No.
So, Jordan Ashford's going to be here. Tanisha Harper. Jordan Ashford, number 3, I think.
Yes.
Right here live on the 10th floor. We had a chance to talk to her at the red carpet. We talked to her on the red carpet at the Emmys. So there's a little interview there. A little 3 minutes with Tanisha Harper, but we're going to have much more time with her here on the 10th floor. So that's exciting. Talk about the Ashfords, talk about being a cop, being a lieutenant mayor, potentially, I guess, being kidnapped. Has she been kidnapped, folks? We were having trouble remembering. So Ma and I were talking pre-show about Jordan, and we're like, well, she's on an adventure. And she's like, she is? My mom was like, she is? And I'm like, yeah, she got a phone call or something. So is she gone? Is she missing?
Oh, those 2 thugs approached her, remember?
Oh, see, there we go. See, yes.
Oh my gosh.
She left to go meet something. She meant to go meet somebody or something. Yes. And the 2 thugs approached her.
She was on one of the piers.
Yes. Yeah. Don't go to the piers, folks. Don't go to the docks.
No.
Stay away from the piers.
Anyway, yes. Yes, the 2 thugs approached her.
So, did you kidnap Jordan for the interview? I did, Melissa. That's exactly it. We have kidnapped Jordan. So she could be right here live on the 10th floor, February 4th at 11 a.m. I didn't. She says I can't go full Peter August, but you can't tell me what to do, Melissa. I'm still out of practice. I don't know if I can still do it.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
It's been a long time.
In a while. So that's our news, you guys.
Yeah, that's our 30-minute countdown news. So, hey, for those who watched at 9 a.m. for Days for Dummies and those who watched at 11 a.m. for 10th floor, you got a double dose of 30-minute countdown news. That also means that 2 weeks in a row, back to back, starting next week, we're going to have, interviews. So that's fun. That's exciting.
It is.
Happy to do that here on the 10th.
Oh, man. That's a good start for 2024.
I debated it because I'm like, do I want to do 2 back to back? Do I want to space it out? But then I'm also like, these people are busy. Let me not try to drag this out. Let me not book somebody for June. I feel like that's really easy for them to not show up. Rachel wants to know if Jordan was taken by WSB thugs. We really don't know. I don't think WSB thugs.
No, we don't know yet because they were,
I think somebody hasn't been properly punished for planting false evidence against Cyrus Renault to send him to jail. And Cyrus is continuing to bring bad things to people he finds as bad people.
Oh boy.
Maybe.
So you're not believing Brother Renault at all now.
I don't know what I believe in anymore, Ma. Cyrus is so hard to read, but also at the same time,
isn't it?
So yeah, right. And because Esme goes and talks to Cyrus, right? And they're having this conversation, and Jeff Kober, amazing Emmy winner, well deserving of every accolade that I could possibly throw at him. There was such genuineness in his conversation with Esme, because right now you can tell there's like different speech patterns, I guess you can say, that Cyrus takes depending on what he's doing. If he's being more nefarious, it's going to be deeper and a little more controlled and a little more, maybe there's something behind my words. Like when he talks to Nina or when he talks to Sonny.
Yeah.
But when he was talking to Esme, he's like, well, what's going on?
Yeah,
explain why this is a problem. You know, like it was very not layered. It was very
yeah,
genuine, and I just
yeah.
love to notice that sort of stuff in performances.
But to me, Cyrus, as like he's trying to be as just as non-menacing as possible. Trying to shake off his dangerous coat, right?
Hmm.
He's really trying. He's really trying. But he's like Santa Claus with a sack of presents, but he's got a sack of secrets and a sack of everything he's overheard,
Just wants to
and
hand it all out.
just the observation, he's just taking it all in, just putting it in his sack.
Hmm. Oh, there's my secret. There's my secret. Or here's a gift for you. Here's a gift for you. Don't notice this other sack. Don't mind this other sack that I'm taking this and putting it in. But here's a gift for you and a gift for you. I hear that. I hear
Yeah.
that. I hear that. Oh my goodness. Get Stephen Bradford. Hey, you guys, go ahead. Reach out to Stephen Bradford and send him right over here to the 10th floor. We'll have him.
Tried many times, guys.
Well, thank you very much for your congratulations, Jacarius. Jacarius also wants to know what my least favorite part of the week is. And it's a hard question for me to answer because I don't remember the stuff that I didn't like. You know,
Try not to,
you know,
huh?
unless it's particularly egregious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't really remember what my least favorite part of the week is because I'm not really thinking about it at all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't stick with me. But then also means that I don't remember detail later on too.
Sometimes.
So maybe I'm too forgiving of some of these characters that need to be more scrutinized. I don't know. You tell me.
Either.
Oh, goodness. Because he never realized what the cat will do, Cyrus doesn't know. Cyrus only thinks of Nicholas. I don't know. I don't know if I won. You know, because he is attached to Nicholas. He's also attached to Ace. Esme is right. He took
And
him away
I
from
think
us.
out of all the Cassidines, all the Cassidines, I would think that Cyrus has probably got the most. You know, Spencer got his little special spot for him because of the prison and everything.
Mm-hmm. And Cyrus did mention that. You know, that doesn't sound like something Spencer would do. But it
Mm,
is. He did it,
it
Cyrus.
is.
But you know, like I said, he told Laura, both of them being like, I don't want to touch this thing with a 10-foot pole. Let's give it to the good person.
Mm,
And so they tell Laura, and then Laura, you know, she turns on her heel and she basically is like, Spencer, you dum dum,
mm-hmm.
but loudly.
Yeah. Oh man. It Esme's going to retaliate in big ways. I know she is.
So, I think that Spencer's gonna wind up considered dead. That's what I think. I'm going way out there, folks. I'm reaching out there. I don't care what spoilers say because spoilers could be misinterpreted very easily because spoilers aren't. This is what happens for the most part. Spoilers are like, here's a vague suggestion of things that may come. So I think that Spencer is gonna go missing. They're gonna think he's dead. There's gonna be something when it comes to Spencer.
Yeah.
I don't think that Trina is going to be gone for an extended period of time. Do I have evidence to support this? No. This is just what I think.
This is just your personal storytelling of what you think is going to happen.
I don't think that she's going to be gone for an extended period of time because I don't think it's a good idea to get rid of Tabiana Ali for an extended period of time. I know that people like Sprina as a whole, but you're not gonna get rid of both of them. That's dumb.
I think it's dumb too.
You know, they're both popular characters on their own, and so to get rid of both of them as a unit because one of them needs to go away is stupid.
But I hope that they keep on writing some good story for Trina. I don't want her character. I don't want Trina to be put on the back burner because they cannot depict Sprina right now.
No, I want them to move forward in whatever it is else they got going on. Plus, you know, if Spencer does wind up dead or missing, and she comes back, or if she finds out that Spencer gave Ace to Nicholas, and she's like, "I'm gonna leave you here in Europe. You gotta figure the f out and don't come back to town until you've got a good apology lined up." I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
It's something. But I want her to come back sooner rather than later, and I want them to move forward with other connections that she has. She can get involved with Jocelyn's life. She can get involved with her parents' life. She can even start her own new story with new characters that they bring in.
Could be.
You know, I don't like the Adam pairing, just because I think that Joshua Bernard looks too young compared to the rest of the cast of that age group. I know that's a silly thing, and I was on the other end of the ageism spectrum before, where I'm like, be nice to new Molly, but in this case, he comes, it doesn't lend to me.
Did you guys notice that Adam's dad is the same doctor from the Days of Our Lives when they're got a dirty doctor for the whole baby thing with Sloane? Same actor.
He must have
He's
a good soap
dirty on both ends.
Yeah. I mean, this is a bigger, juicier role, but we'll see. Maybe he has to show up at Days of Our Lives to continue to take money from Sloane and from Melinda.
I just thought that I thought that the character. I just thought that the character would look more menacing than him, the dad.
But he's not.
But he's not.
He's just a jerk.
Yeah.
He's just a royal jerk.
Yeah, well, he's gonna get an earful.
You know, he's talking to Joss all like he's just, well, I'm in charge of everything because I'm a man. Everything's gonna go my way. You're gonna be a strong doctor. You're gonna get out of my kid's life. Escort her away from here.
Look at his. Look at his. And I hope that they show us a recovery arc for Adam. And for him standing up for himself too. And from what I understand, Eden will be back to play Joss in the next few days.
Yeah, I think in like early February or something is when she's slated to return to the role. Yeah, good work from Tim Joss. You know, if they find room for her in the future, I'm sure she can blend right into the cast. They've done it before. Carolyn doesn't care about the Adam storyline. Medora is just really interested in what the heck Taggert's up to. The show is not interested in what Taggert is up to.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, I get it from a contracted character standpoint, from a budget standpoint, from a, well, we're doing this, that, and the other stuff with this, that, and the other stories. Don't have the room, the minutes in the episode, or even the dollars to give to Rael Andrews for Taggert. So they're just not interested. They're just not interested in telling that story.
They aren't. And I was kind of hoping they would for a second, because you guys remember that one scene where Jordan's talking to Taggert about being the chief of police?
Yeah.
Possibly. And then that was never ever revisited. No. And I thought that was an opportunity. I thought that he would be more of a badass in a way, because he's always been a truth teller, and he's pretty menacing when he wants to be, when he's being a cop. And but at the same time, I thought he would bring so much comedy to it. I was looking forward to seeing it. If they decided to do that. But they didn't do that. No, they didn't. They don't. For whatever reason, the Taggert character isn't somebody that they're interested in exploring or anything like that. And it's just a fact. But bring him back for a day, 2, 3. I don't care. The last few things we saw him to do as a character were one was really good and one was, not so good. His scenes when he finds out that Trina's not his daughter, his scenes alone in the elevator are so good.
Yeah. He's a great actor.
But the last thing they showed us Taggert doing was falling off the wagon. Yeah, that's not the last thing I want to see from Taggert.
Put some booze in his coffee. So just erase that from your mind. Just forget that is the last thing that you saw.
That's why I say that they need to double it back and just have him on for just a minute. Even if they don't develop him, don't leave Taggert like that.
Don't let us continue to think that he's continuing to spike his coffee.
No.
He could have gotten over it.
Yeah.
Agreed, Medora. We need Taggert back, says Michelle. There's interest out there. It's just interest from the fans, for sure. I'm not saying that it's bad or wrong or you shouldn't want it. You should absolutely want it if that's what you want. But the reality of the sitch is this show is just not interested in doing that right now. It's pretty clear that they're really not interested in doing that right now.
No, but you know what I think they are interested in doing? I think they're interested in having Curtis, this surgery being like crazy off the rails. Good.
Yes,
Positive.
he's gonna be able to
Works.
do a jig by their first
I
anniversary.
think he'll be wiggling his toes by the end of this week. I do.
Oh goodness. Uh, well, maybe the writers will make it interesting in the future. That's some good optimism, Kelly. You know, when they find story, they find time, they find the desire or the room or the space to tell the story. Maybe they will.
What do you
Um,
guys what do you guys think about Harley's little revenge right now that she has standing in the doorway of Crimson looking like a badass in that suit? Good. What you guys think of Carly standing in the doorway of Crimson?
everybody, speak your praises. Speak your praises of Carly right now. Just to close out what we were talking about too with the younger group, there was some debate as to the Trina Taggert potentiality,
Mhm.
and it doesn't seem like a lot of people are interested in that currently. And then it broke down into whether or not Adam and Joss are going to wind up together, and I just don't see that either. I think Dex and Joss are just fine. I don't see Adam getting in the way of that. If we really think about it, folks, let's really break this down, okay? We've got a young person in the friends group under a lot of pressure, who's a musician, who's a sensitive soul, who could have easily been Cameron Weber, putting a lot
Yeah.
of pressure on himself to provide for his family,
Uh-huh.
maybe making a mistake with some ADD pills. Maybe that
Uh-huh.
grows to a new thing. I don't know about a whole suicide attempt, but it could be an accidental overdose type of deal. This
Uh-huh.
could very well have been Cameron's story. And we need to keep that in mind. Because Jocelyn wasn't going to leave Dex for Cameron. Could very easily have been Cameron Weber in this place.
I just don't see, yeah, and I don't see Jocelyn. Now that she's been with Dex, I don't see Jocelyn dating a college boy in it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see that.
Melissa says Saddam is no competition for sexy Dexy. It's interesting. Saddam, that's an interesting thing. But you know what? My first thought when I read the name Saddam was, my God, if people called him this in high school, it could have been a huge problem for this poor child.
Yeah.
If you're
I
depressive and
I could
kind of antisocial
easily
and kind of
see
and then
I
you
could
get called Saddam for your life, like that can make
oh,
things
I
way
could
worse.
easily see that actually happening. It would have happened at my high school. Would have.
Yeah, and that poor Adam would have felt even worse.
Uh-huh.
Because people who are usually in my experience, people who are suffering from an uncontrollable depression, like Adam is, if you remind them that they're in a pit and they can't get out of it, they feel even worse because they recognize it, realize it, wish that they could, and now people know. Now they've noticed, and that's
Mm-hmm.
awful. That's worse.
Yeah,
It's a good funny name though, Adam.
it is.
Why is bullying so fun?
Oh my
Oh
God.
goodness. But yeah, people say Carly stays the queen, sauntering in with her hair in her suit.
I
Um,
know. I love the way she was dressed. I love the pencil skirt and the leather. Not too over the top, but oh man, she looked like a badass. And the smirk on her face was
she's actually the cover art for the YouTube this week. Is this thing right here?
Yep,
Hmm.
yep.
Hmm. Now I've got your magazine, B word.
Uh-huh. I have my hotel.
Well, I'm going to take your bag. And then people out there, people out there, either wildly in support or not of Drew's decision, of Carly accepting Drew's offer of moving forward. And the big question is, Mother, is Carly going to run a successful magazine? Well, just like we had the questions, is she going to be able to run a successful diner? The answer is yes, of course she's going to.
Yeah. I think she's gonna probably Man, I really like her in Bobby's. I like Carly in Bobby's, but I don't think she's going to stay there. Hopefully she visits, goes back to that set more often. I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe the Crimson thing will be temporary. She doesn't have to be the editor-in-chief of this magazine for the next decade.
Oh,
You know, when it comes down to it, again, I've said it on the podcast before, we could just retire the magazine.
we could.
Before now, like, they hadn't even been doing it. Like, how on earth has Nina had time to be the editor-in-chief of this magazine?
Right? Haven't we always said that she could be? She went to Nixon's Falls. That magazine didn't need her, not a lick.
No, that magazine,
Right?
she isn't a Crimson. Crimson's fine without her, you know?
The whole team probably, when she walks back in, saunters back in with taking all control, they're like, oh man, we were doing fine. Shit.
This is something that I see before, because Daisy brings up, well, Carly ran deception. And this is something that people have been saying in support of her successful operating of this Crimson magazine. But I just say, just to be the devil's advocate, designing makeup and selling fashion are two different worlds.
Yes.
Two entirely different worlds, two completely different businesses, communities, two completely different approaches to artistry, safety, testing, regulations. Like, there's so much more to makeup, really, than it is to designing clothes, or not even to designing clothes. Saying,
But
oh, that looks good, put it
but
in my magazine, you know?
The piece that the puzzle that makes them kind of overlap a little bit is advertising.
Yeah, I guess that would be it. That would be it. But like Nina said, you have to have celebrity contacts. You need to have your finger on the pulse of the future.
Mm-hmm.
You need to have all of these things, and you don't got it.
You ain't got it. Well, I don't think Drew or Carly even care about the success of that magazine. It could fall in the toilet tomorrow. They'd say, good.
Well, he was ready to just close it down if she didn't quit, so yeah.
Yeah, they want to rub it in her nose first. That's
Yeah,
all.
he doesn't
They don't
care.
really care if it succeeds. They just want her to make sure she smells it good.
People saying, well, Maxie made Nina. Maxie used to run Crimson. It's really Maxie's baby, and that's true.
That's true.
That's very true.
100% true.
That's very true. But, the lessons that Maxie laid down, Nina picked up.
Yeah.
There was no denying. Even when she was dating Jax was like, oh, circulation is way up. Y'all doing a great job.
And it's not like she discovered the magazine as her baby creation. No, it's Kate Howard's baby creation.
Exactly. She'll be fine. She just bummed out.
Fine. She'll be fine.
Like if it was her choice, she wouldn't be like, but if she was like, oh, I can't do this anymore, then she'd be like, yay, I'm fine. But since it was Carly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Carly has to be careful. She has to be careful because if she rubs Nina's nose in things for too long and too hard, well, then other people might be feeling sorry for her. Perhaps Willow might be wavered a little bit if she finds out that Carly's just tormenting the hell out of Nina. That'll make Carly know better.
I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go.
Revenge should be sweet, but not stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's at this point in which things might be we could have called it a Cold War between the grannies for a little bit. They'd been bickering, but the last thing that they had done was the SEC thing, which was a long time ago now. That was the last act, right?
They tried to show that the two of them were going to try to coexist in some way when they had to, for the sake of everybody, ever since Nina married Carl.
But they still just were going to roll their eyes and not like each other and just have coldness between each other.
Cordial, don't cat fight.
Right.
You don't feel different, but we're not going to cat fight.
But I think we're going to get back into reaching into each other's lives and really manipulating and messing with them.
And trying to do new things to damage one another. That's what they're going to do.
And this is and maybe the conflict between Carly and Drew will be Carly going, I just want this to be over. If I don't do anything, Drew, it'll be over.
Right.
If I just let this go and do not retaliate on my own, she'll have nothing to retaliate against again, and this will be done.
It'll be done. And
you can't do that, Carly. We can't let her get away with it.
Soon enough. There'll be one fine gentleman with a leather jacket that will just arrive, and she will be distracted.
Drew is going to be sitting behind the Crimson editor's desk. Carly's going to log in. I found somebody to replace you, Drew. Replace you in my bed and in my heart. Sign this divorce. And in walks in Jason with his hair blown out.
Funny.
So people there's also theory out there that Nina's gonna wind up running ELQ. Valentine's gonna be like, "Oh, here, Nina, here's ELQ for you to run now. We're gonna stick it to card." I don't think.
Well,
I don't know.
that'd be the old circle, wouldn't it? But I think Tracy might have something to say about that.
You know, I mean, there's more to it than that. You know, Tracy, Ned, Michael, the rest of the board of directors.
Right.
And even then, like Michael got his voting proxy back.
Yes.
Ned.
Yeah, he was like, "No, I want that back now. You know, we ain't
You
playing
give it to me
that
now.
anymore."
Well, no, I mean, I'll give it to you on Monday. No, it's
Mhm.
fine. Give it. Thank you.
Yes.
So, you know, Willow's going to forgive Michael soon. Yeah, of course she is.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she will forgive him too. I do. But like I said, though, I think, you know, Carly needs to keep her revenge plot. She needs to make sure that she doesn't go too far.
Yeah. Hey, so I need to take a quick 1-minute break, Ma. Do you want to talk to the camera while I take a 1-minute break?
Sure.
Okay.
So I'll let you guys know. One little 1-minute break. And I got that coughing fit because I'm getting better from COVID. I finally got COVID after 4 years. And I was starting to think I was never going to get it. I was one of the few people that I knew that didn't ever have it. Matthew's never had it, but I got COVID. I went to a super spreader event, evidently, and 7 people from that event got COVID. And then I gave it to my best friend, and she's getting much better now too. But this strain kicked our butt. I was down and out for 24 hours, like really sick for 24 hours, a little bit more than that. Then I started getting better. So that was this past Tuesday, which was not that long ago, was when I was really, really sick. Suddenly just very sick. And then almost suddenly you start perking up and feeling better. Anyway, that's my case. And other people in our little COVID circle wound up being a COVID circle of 8. I'm sure it's much bigger than that, and I just don't even know it. Hey, I'm good now, though.
So
I was telling them all about my COVID.
Oh, I'm sorry that you had that.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, the chat's saying, "Oh, feel better." No, yeah, I think it's seasonal. People have been catching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, good.
But
Thanks for holding down the fort.
fine now.
I feel way better.
I did get Paxlovid, though, you guys.
I guess it's what
wondering?
really works. At least it
I
did for
did
Mom.
get Paxlovid. I don't know if that helped or not. I have no idea, but I got it like within hours of being really sick. I got it very, very quickly. Took the last dose of it this morning. I don't know. But you know, the other folks in our little COVID circle we have, they didn't have Paxlovid and they got better. They got really sick and really better really quick as well.
Oh, there you go. Maybe it's the miracle drug of this year.
It didn't make any difference at all.
Well, Michelle is down with any Jarly situation. So if Jason walks in with his hair blown out, she's down with it.
I'm looking forward to him coming back, you guys. I am. And I really hope, you know, I want there to be, I honestly thought when he came back as a patient 6 and the years following, when he was back emerged in his regular Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. No different face or nothing. This is Jason again, period.
Yeah.
I really thought that they it merged him just a little too much into everything.
Yeah, a little too much Jason all the time.
A little too much Jason all the time. And I'm a big Jason fan, but I just thought there was a lot of times where it's like, it almost felt like, well, that's kind of a forced Jason situation, it seems.
They signed him to too many days, is what it come down to. When that happens,
I
it's
agree.
because they signed the actor for too many days.
I think that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all for seeing him on, but I don't want him to be, you know, I want him to be super interesting.
Well, so we went, we went to the Bradford and Steve shows, the live shows that they had and still do, Stone Cold and Jackal Hour or whatever it's called, right?
Yeah, they were just in Sacramento in December. They
Yeah,
were
yeah,
just here
yeah. So
a month ago.
we went to a couple of those. It's been a couple of years since we've been now,
Mhm.
but we had been to some of those, and I remember Steve Burton commenting on one of those Q&As. He gets these scripts after he comes back from GH. He gets these scripts, and he's like, "Why is Jason saying so much? Why do I have so many lines? I didn't have this many lines before."
Yeah.
And so, maybe we'll find some balance there. Maybe not. Maybe I don't know. There's a lot of maybes out there. I'm not writing it. I'm not
Hmm.
there negotiating the deal. I think that I think it would be understandable to think that there's a lot of excitement, a buzz kind of on the
Hmm.
show right now with the potential of a Jason return because there is a lot of story that could be told from it.
There is. There's
And
tons of
plus,
stuff
Steve
that can
Burton's
be.
got to be, he's got to have some friends.
I know, and I just wonder what are they going to do
Hey,
going
Nathan.
forward. I hope Steve Burton is back on for a good long time. I hope he's on till kind of General Hospital ain't on no more.
He wouldn't have had this break if it wasn't for COVID.
Yeah.
He
So
would,
I hope really hope that he comes back for the
and if it
good
wasn't for
long
that, would
duration.
Britt still be around? Would Kelly T-Bode be like, maybe I'll figure out how to do both of these things if she had a story like that still playing? Who
And
knows?
haven't they just and I don't know how they're going to bring her back, but unless they just bring her back as somebody else's possibility, or I don't know, it'd be kind of really hard to have her not be dead.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Britt's pretty dead.
Yeah, it'd be pretty hard for her not to be dead.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but I know that didn't Station 19 get canceled?
I think it was on the verge of it. I don't know if they pulled the trigger or
No.
not, but I know there was a Save Station 19 campaign. So I don't know if it was because they heard that it might be or because it had been. I really don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
Hmm.
it's a soap though.
Yeah,
It's a soap. She's the who's her dad? Her dad is who's her dad?
I don't know.
We don't know Britt's dad. Britt's
Oh, her
dad was
dad. Oh,
Faison.
Faison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Faison is as we find out, Britt had been cloned. And the nice Brit that had come back to town over the last couple of years that had shed the Brit um, nickname was the clone. And real Brit is alive, frozen in some sort of Phazon laboratory.
I don't see why not. It's
Right?
been sold to us in one direction or another before.
Boom. I have reintroduced Brit Westbourne back to General Hospital. You're welcome. You're welcome. If your mother is Lisa Lobrecht, then all of the characters have the best chance for a scientific miracle resurrection. It is entirely possible that Liesel. No, and that's totally the way they would do it. If they
Can't
were to bring
deny
Bert
that,
back,
can we?
it's because Liesel had Brit in the basement laboratory
Mm-hmm.
because of Helena's life-saving drugs and equipment that she knew about.
Yep.
Because Monica did it to AJ. It's Monica's lab. Helena gave it to her.
There she
Uh,
is. She's underneath the hospital.
Dan says that Willow seems to have a backbone now, and maybe we're getting into evil queen territory finally after all this time.
I know. I agree. I agree. I agree. She is kind of laying down the law a little bit. You know, she is a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
she's not mincing
She's
her
gonna forgive
words
it
too
though.
much. I love it. I love
Forgive it.
it.
She should forgive
But
Michael. It's gonna be
I
fine. They're
do
gonna be
think that
okay.
she'll eventually forgive Nina to a
Probably.
certain degree.
Probably. I mean, we will have to
She
see.
will forgive Nina well enough for Nina to F it up again.
I don't know because if that's the case, then we're just definitely in this cyclical storytelling when it comes to Nina and Willow and all that. I would love for Willow to find something to do that is outside of all of this.
Me too.
I feel like her character has been really wrapped up in Michael's life for its pretty much its entire inception.
Uh-huh.
Even when she was dating Chase, it was still very wrapped up in Michael's life. Like that whole just group was all very intertwined. Not so much anymore. But since Willow and Michael's relationship was what survived from that, the trail of Willow and Michael is very long.
Yeah.
And I would like to see what else she does outside of that. I mean, she started
Yeah, I
off, you
wonder
know,
what,
Shiloh's Victim, Harmony stuff.
you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to submerge her somehow, some way into the plot of Christina's home house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they need a nurse.
Yeah, something like that. And they like somehow like the reason behind it would be that Willow wants to see a group home environment that is actually good the way it was
Oh,
supposed to be.
Ma, that's great. That is a great.
Way.
That's a great way to link the character to that story. That's brilliant. That's writer's thinking, Ma. Good job. High five.
Oh, thank you.
That was
That's what
good.
I'm,
That's good. I like
that's
that.
how they can submerge her into it, is that she wants to have like, a positive experience in the same sort of setting.
Mm, Well, Kate is confirming for us that Station 19 is entering its final season.
Oh,
So I guess they're
okay.
planning on ending it. It seems to be what I'm taking from that at least is that they know they are
And
entering
I
their
haven't
last.
been following it either, so I don't even know
Well,
what Kelly
it's a
character
spinoff.
is
It's
doing
a
on
Grey's
there.
Anatomy spinoff.
Yeah, but I don't. Okay, all right.
So I mean, I don't know the characters either. I've never seen Station 19, nor have I really ever seen any Grey's Anatomy. But
Yeah, well, I haven't seen very much Grey's Anatomy
no.
either.
But I know
It's
that
not
it
been,
was a
not
spinoff.
been my show.
And they were doing that thing with like that shared TV universe type of thing
Yeah,
in
yeah,
which,
yeah.
you know, a big event would happen and it would affect both shows and that sort of
Right.
stuff.
That makes sense. Yeah, like some kind of medical or catastrophe
Yeah,
situation will
like
affect the fire department, and then it affects the medical team
right, and
after.
so they would do crossovers,
Yeah.
and then they would also, you know, like if like an earthquake hit the town, then they would have the episode about the medical
Yes.
response and then the episode about the fire station response to the same thing.
Yeah.
So
That's.
yeah, Karen loved the Britt and Jason, so that's good to know. It's good to know. But
I
yeah,
thought I thought the Brit and Jason thing was okay, but it felt there wasn't enough buildup, you know?
it got
There
really
was no
sidetracked from the
reason
Carly
for me
stuff.
to wanna hear the two-chord piano thing.
I hear you. I hear you. They didn't have enough time. The Carly stuff got in the way. They broke
Yeah,
up. They
all
sort
of
of
it,
got back together. Then he died.
all
It was just,
all of it,
it
all of
just,
it,
it,
and
it
they had to
suffered.
kinda go, like they had to know for months that the potential of having to write out Steve Burton and Jason Morgan quickly is good possibility.
Yeah, I think that's why they stuck Jason and Britt sort of back together a little bit there for about 5 minutes before he died.
Mhm.
Like they were at Greece together, you know. She
Yeah.
was there for a reason. I don't remember the reason, but she was there.
Mhm.
And then the stuff fell on him, and she was there and she saw it. And so I think that they were trying to give something to Britt to do, you know, something to launch Britt off of Jason's death. And then
Yeah.
ultimately she got this other job, and then just everything just kind of
Yeah.
fizzled. And that's what happens when you're constantly producing a show like this and you're not able to take the summer off to structure everything, to make sure your deals are in place, to this, that, and the other stuff, and you're just constantly producing the story.
Mhm.
Things like that happen. Sometimes circumstances make it so things just fizzle, even if you wanted it to pop.
Yeah.
It happens in wrestling all the time too. You know, you remember the NWO, the big group like Hulk
Sure
Hogan and
do.
Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. You know,
Yeah.
big
Yeah.
group of bad guys that came together and
Yeah.
run roughshod through WCW. Um, Everybody remembers how that came to be. Everybody remembers the big debuts and the big turns and all that stuff that really launched that story. But nobody really remembers how it ended, because it didn't. It fizzled. It
Oh.
just slowly went away.
Oh.
Because this star got injured, this star left the
Yeah.
company, this circumstance happened, that circumstance happened, this person got hurt, whatever it is. And eventually the power players, the people that were driving the stories, weren't available,
Mhm.
and it just puttered.
Cut it out.
So kind of same thing with Jason and Britt, you know,
Yeah.
circumstances, COVID, new Station 19 jobs,
Mhm.
network influence,
Yeah.
all kinds of different stuff, I think had a factor in that unfortunate fizzle. They had chemistry, says Dan, and they seemed to really fit each other physically, so they were good to look at side by side.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Kelly Tivo is just real pretty.
She is. I kind of do want to. I kind of do want to see Carly and Jason together finally. I kind of do.
Like for real, for an extended period of time where they have enough time to really like explore it and make us feel it and believe it. Because I didn't feel it and
Yes.
believe it. I was told how they were feeling because it
Yeah.
was, we're bringing
Yeah.
Sunny back. We're bringing Sunny back. We're bringing Sunny back.
Uh-huh.
We got to get you where we've got to get you where we meant to put you.
Yeah.
And so I remember their scene that they had, and if you're invested in Jason and Carly, you loved it, and it was great and wonderful and amazing. If you hate Carly, you hated every moment of it. But if you're like me, who is able to take it as it comes, what I got from the writing and in the performances just didn't support the moment that it was meant to be. Now, I've always loved you. And now I feel it. Now I recognize it. Now I realize it for the feeling that it always had been this whole time, Carly. Like, that was the intention of the scene. That's not what I got from it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens this time. It's going to be very different.
Yeah. Daisy reminds us that Tracy can outvote Valentine because she's got that 1% that she got from
That's true.
from Lucy.
Yep. You got the wild card now.
Yep. So there goes that. I guess Nina's not going to be running ELQ, everybody. Plus, no, that's not what I don't think that that's not the house she's in,
I could see Nina and Valentine hooking back up though. In some way.
But what
I
about
could see them
Sunny?
hooking back up.
Do you mean like romantically or in like
No, like
planning, like being friends? Yeah, I think that they've done a pretty good job of showing that Nina and Valentine still very much get along.
Yeah. She just did him a favor in the hotel not that long ago with the tape and all that.
I remember their conversation
Camera.
that they had at the steakhouse on the Valentine's Day or something, where they were both feeling kind of bad about stuff, and it could have been a moment for them to be like, well, I mean, it's us, but they didn't. And I think that they really established, there might have even been a line in there too, where it was just like, it wasn't good, this didn't work. Still love you though. But this didn't bring out good stuff in either one of us.
No.
Yeah.
This made us rotten.
Ooh, goodness gracious. Nathan. Oh, Nathan Banks. My gosh. The problem I felt was that they made Jason come off as a man whore. I just had to read that because he said man whore.
Made Jason come off as a man whore.
Oh, that's funny.
No?
He's just slinging it. What can we say? What can we say? Who's going to resist the charm of Jason Morgan? Not Garley and not Britt.
Well, I tell you, I know for certain in that town, I pretty much for certain, he not getting nearly as much tail as he probably could.
Just play the field a little bit. There's an account in here, Tracy's Fractured History and More, contributes to the chat. I am not a fan of Carly. Hello, Tracy, and welcome to the show. When you say Tracy, do you mean like Tracy Quartermain's Fractured History, or are you a history channel hosted by a person named Tracy? I want to know. Because if you're a history channel hosted by a person named Tracy, I'm going to encourage people to click on it. If you are Tracy Quartermain's Fractured History, I want to know why you named your YouTube account that. Let me know.
Tracy's just having a good old time watching everything happen, though, isn't she?
Isn't she? She's just loving all of the drama she's not involved in. And she's sitting there having heart-to-hearts with Ned as Carly is fighting with Michael on the other side of the wall.
It was Quartermain fun, wasn't it?
Her name is Tracy. Welcome to the show.
Straight up Quartermain-licious.
It was super cute. It was a super cute and super cute. Super Quartermainy. We're just missing a glass on the door. Everybody listening in.
Yes.
Spencer is convinced beyond all reason that Esme remembers everything.
Well, Spence.
He's right.
It's the Spence. Right there. And it's just that her whole body language changed. It did. She got her memories back. Her body language changed.
She's doing a really good job. Like the manipulation, like the purposeful manipulation of things is clear. you know, from her point of view. But going, like I said, when we started talking about Cyrus, her going there was so she didn't have to,
Mhm.
was so she could still remain distanced from all of it as best as she can, so nobody's going to go, well, So we'll see. We'll see. Tracy's fractured history and Moore's mother named her Tracy. Oh, she got it on her birthday. Just like most of us get our names, right? Most of us, not all of us. Some people are named a few days after. Some people pick a different name.
Lots of people pick it.
But Tracy's been Tracy since the day she was born. Well, welcome to the show, Tracy.
Hey, Tracy.
Oh, goodness. Ava told Nina the same thing. Nina's bad relationship with Michael is all her fault. I think that it's funny because, so I remember when, before Nina called the SEC, we had talked on the podcast, why is Ava egging her on like this?
Mm-hmm.
Ava's just like really pushing her to do this thing. So they approached it on the show. They talked about that. Nina and Ava. Nina was like, you told me to do it. She was like, I was bluffing. I was calling your bluff.
I was bluffing.
I didn't be like that. I was being your catty girlfriend. Oh, yeah, you should call. I didn't know that you were. And honestly, Mom, that is what we had said on the show.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we analyze it. I'm like, I see this person just being there for her friend. You're right, girl. You should do that.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
You're right. You should call them. They need to be punished.
Right.
But she didn't mean it.
No, that's just talking mess with your friend.
And they showed it then, too, because she was like, you should do this. And then Nina's like, I did. And Ava's like, are you kidding me?
Right. And you didn't tell me you were going to do it.
Yeah. The actress who played Brit moved to England. Well, you know what, Daisy? The wonderful thing about people moving away is they can move back. You go somewhere, you can come on back. But hey, who knows? Clearly, she doesn't have plans returning to Hollywood if she's relocated to England.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she's just living her best life and enjoying some money that she made. Who knows? I don't know these things. I don't know Kelly Tebow. If she wants to come on the show, I'd talk to her, though.
Maybe she got a new man in her life and she moved away to happiness.
Maybe she met some like rich oil tycoon. And he's like, my name is Doug Dimmadome, and I'm here to take care of you, Brit.
Well, there's going to be so much fallout this coming week of Nicholas, of Spencer giving that baby away to Nicholas.
It was a big deal.
Got tons of fallout.
Oh yes. It's going to be
so much.
And we're going to find out what all of the Cassidines think. What does Alexis think about this? I want to know what Molly thinks about this. You know, I want to know. I want to get the entire Cassidine perspective on what's going on here. Maybe she's in England with Liesel. Get resurrected. Kelly Tebow does have a boyfriend in England, says Kelly. Kelly knows. They share a first name. They're Kelly sisters.
Maybe I'm not too far off from the truth.
Dan has a question for us, Ma.
What's that?
Dan wants to know if we think that Sonny and Nina are meant to be a longer-term couple, or if this is, and work it out, or if this is going to be just that for them. And I foresee them making it.
I don't think they're gonna. I think she's got lots of hell to pay yet.
Yes.
She got lots of hell to pay yet, but ultimately, I think he will go back to her.
They're still wearing the rings.
He hasn't taken the ring off
and thrown it in the fireplace.
Yeah, but I don't think the Sunny Nina story has completely been told yet. That's for sure. So
No, I think that Sonny and Nina are going to be just fine. I think that the actors really enjoy working with each other. I think that Maurice Bernard especially likes working with Cynthia Watros. You can see it. I think that they have done purposeful work in putting Sonny in a relatively new direction after Nixon Falls. He still does have his elements of Mike in him. There's still an element of sensitivity, less of a brutal streak than had existed before. Would he have called off Dex killing Cyrus before Nixon Falls? Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You know what surprised me about that, Mom, was that Dex was going to do it.
I know, he sure was, wasn't he?
Like he put that syringe in the IV and almost pushed down the plunger and everything. Like it's because that was the you get a killer guy to really be in type of, initiation,
Yeah.
something that Dex really hadn't done before.
Yeah.
He's defended himself, he's defended Sonny, he's been in
Yes.
perilous situations, but to be an assassin isn't something that Dex
Yes.
had done before.
Yes. This is new.
So it honestly did surprise me that there wasn't even I'm going to put it in, oh, maybe I shouldn't, flashback to Sonny convincing him, now I'm going to do, something to show that there was a hesitation still in the character of Dex
No, it
before
was methodical,
just
wasn't
walking
it?
in and killing this man.
It was pretty methodical.
Yeah, so he just walked in to kill that man, and it surprised me a little bit because I didn't see Dex as like the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Yeah,
understood
yeah,
that he
yeah.
was the enforcer, kind of a tough guy, someone that beat somebody
Sure.
up. But
A
even his,
defender, but not like this.
yeah, and even in his conversation with Sonny about it, he was like, "What do you need me to do, boss? Go rough somebody up, scare him? Yeah, scare him to death." Like he
And
didn't
it
he
did.
didn't even think that was originally the order.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, it surprised me. It
Mm-hmm.
surprised me, especially since on top of that as well, he didn't come from a I want to be in the mafia background.
No.
He came from I want to end the mafia background.
Yeah.
And now he's full on in it.
Now he is. Yes, he is. Huh.
Whew. Dex is now a company man, says Melissa. But anyway, I was just surprised about that.
Yeah, he is. Got matching 401k now and everything.
Yeah. Michelle says that she's rooting for Sunny and Nina unless Brenda comes back, and I think Maurice Bernard would probably say the same thing. I think he's been pretty famous for saying that if someone were to take Sunny into the sunset, it would be Brenda Barrett, the person to convince him to leave it all behind.
Yeah, it would be Brenda.
It'd be Brenda, according to Maurice Bernard, at least.
Well, I tell you, if Maurice Bernard is on General Hospital, and General Hospital is still a show.
Mm-hmm.
In a few years, we do see we have one more Sunny Carly pairing to go.
I don't know.
May not be for a while though.
I don't know. Hey, Liz. I don't know, Ma. I really
5 years.
don't. I really, really, really don't know. Is Christina going to be pregnant? Yeah, she is.
Oh, I think so. Yes.
No, just to close out what we had talked about before, Vanessa Marcel has even said, who plays Brenda, she said, I'm not really interested in coming back to GH, but I would come back to take Sunny away. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
But
she feels that strongly about Maurice Bernard.
She at least she said in the past, I don't know if her mind's changed since she said this, but she has said in the past that she would be willing to come back for the Sunny farewell arc.
Mm-hmm.
But that would be really the only thing that would bring her back. Who knows? Who knows? She went on a 90210 or something and just everybody loved her.
Yeah.
Is what happened with her, I think.
Was she the one on something? I don't remember.
I think it was 90210 for like their last 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
When they were, when you're 12 seasons deep into a show and you've lost a bunch of cast and there's no momentum to the show anymore and everything's so clunky and convoluted and nowhere near where it had started in the first couple of seasons that hooked your audience to begin with.
That's happened more than once.
It's happened a lot. Luckily, Desperate Housewives avoided that. I enjoyed all of their seasons.
Me too.
Yeah. What else are people saying here before we wrap all this up? Is Chrissy? Yes. Blaze is very insistent. She's giving me infiltrator vibes. If Chrissy gets duped again, she's going to spiral. I don't know. All of this mistrust toward Blaze. Blaze was the one that's like, well, I guess we're broken up then. Oh, I guess that was Christina, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Christina, and then Blaze doubled back.
Yeah, knocked on the door.
Yeah,
we can't not be. I don't know, people.
I don't know if this is going to be like a true. Is it what story they're going to tell? What story do you think the two of them are going to try to tell? Are they going to do an arc on just and Blaze being comfortable within her own skin and living her true life? Is that the arc?
I think that yes. I think that something that GH has said in the past and something that is known for people who work for GH is when you recast, the character is reborn.
That's true.
In a sense. You know,
Mhm.
we can even take a look at the Nicholas recastings over the
Yes,
years. Clearly, when Marcus Coloma stepped into the role, they approached Nicholas differently
yes.
in how he did, how he thought, how he planned, how he interacted with people. They approached the character of Nicholas differently.
Mhm.
Now with Adam Haas on there, they're approaching the character of Nicholas differently again.
Yes.
You can, like we had talked about earlier in the show, you can see that unyielding bond between Spencer and Nicholas that hadn't existed between Marcus Coloma and Nicholas Chavez.
Hmm.
So, and since Christina has now been recast, and we've shown different aspects of her personality and pushed her in different directions than she had been before, presenting her with new problems, I think that we're getting into Christina is the helpful one.
Hmm.
Christina is the one that's going to be there for people. Christina is going to be the one that helps them through their issues. So I think that the story is Christina helping Blaze be fully comfortable in her skin in all environments, rather than Blaze is there to get the dirt on Sunny. Like, I don't really know how
Yeah.
infiltrating Christina would get a enemy something that they want.
Yeah.
Unless this is some sort of investment in something that's going to happen a year from now, but GH doesn't usually do that. You know? I love it when they do things like that. If we can get a
Well, I
year
think you
build
and
to
I are
something, that'd be
both
great.
right. I think you and I are both right. That is a story they're going to tell.
Yeah, I think that Christine is really going to help her get over that stuff and push her to do it. And the drama will be Christina says the wrong thing at the wrong time. Christina really pushes her to do something that she's not comfortable with.
Hmm.
At the same time, this center is opening up, and that's going to open up some more elements and layers for potential
Hmm.
drama with other characters, new characters that are coming. So I think that's where we're going with it.
I think so.
I really don't think that she's Lila Ray Alcazar at this point. I just do not feel it. And I'm not even going to say, well, why wouldn't Tracy know? I'm not even going to give you any like story logic. I just don't get that feeling that that's the direction we're taking it.
I'm now kind of I at the beginning I thought that,
Yeah.
but now not so much either.
Because I think the time to, if we were going to reveal that, it would have been
They would have
before
at least
now.
hinted at it by now.
Something,
They haven't even done that.
but they haven't done that. So,
No, no, all of that storytelling, it's been story told by the audience
mm-hmm.
when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Melissa brings up an important point. Being pregnant is a great way to camouflage a relationship with Blaze.
Yeah, but I don't think that Christina's going to want to do
No,
that.
Christina Christina already wants to be public with PDA and all that kind of stuff. But Blaze is one picture away from her family finding out, and she's
Yeah.
aware of that,
Hmm.
and she doesn't want that. She wants to have control over that. I
Yeah.
can understand that. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll see how it
But then
goes.
in trying to control that picture, never, ever, ever coming to be ever is not the greatest approach.
No, because we've already seen it. You hold yourself back from something that you might actually want.
Yes.
Being able to publicly display your affection for somebody. In this particular case between Christina and Blaze, she's already missing out on an element of the relationship that she could have with Christina based off of trying to control information.
Yep.
So, oh goodness. Carolyn, if Willow dumps Michael over something as small as this, then she's not ready to report Charles' marriage.
She's not ready for poor Charles. What?
She's not ready to report Charles' marriage. Yeah, Michael's already done worse, and she's forgetting it now. If she can forgive him for sicking an entire senator on Nina,
Hmm.
I think that she can forgive him for not telling anybody about the SEC.
Yeah. Yeah.
Michael sent an entire senator on Nina. Okay, we talk about the war between Carly and Nina. My God, Michael's been the one that's shooting all the guns. Okay.
Yeah. Michael's just, he reaches into his Corinthos hat. He reaches into his Spencer hat. He reaches into his
Q hat.
green hat.
It's listening to old voicemails of AJ. Give me some inspiration, Dad. Oh goodness. Oh goodness. I don't know, Ma. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think so.
You want to talk about Trina
Covered it
telling
all, didn't
Esme
we?
off? Because that was kind of fun.
What?
Trina telling Esme off. That was kind of
Oh,
fun.
that was kind of fun. Yeah, it was. She told her. She did.
We made
She
our decisions for Ace. We don't think about you, Esme.
No, oh, that hurt Esme too. Esme's just gonna come out of there. She's gonna come out of there like a Tasmanian devil that's been in hibernation for 6 months. That's hungry. She's gonna come out swinging. Woo!
Okay, this is the second time Melissa has posted this, so she really wants me to read it. Okay, Ma?
Okay.
She wants to give Drew 1 million stars, 1 million gold stars, like in kindergarten.
Okay.
For his response to Nina. Michael will probably say hooray.
That was good.
Good lines, good performance. Like him or hate him, like Drew, don't like Drew. Cameron Matheson is a daytime veteran.
He sure
When
is.
it comes down to it, he does know how to play these moments. If
He does.
if it gets him, if he gets it, if it's the right combination of things, Cameron Matheson does know what he's doing. And to give him like something like that for him to take and make it into a memorable line is a double thumbs up from here on the 10th floor. And that's the beauty of soaps too, because I love to make fun of Drew, but there's still good stuff in there. There's still a lot of stuff to enjoy. Even in the things that you hate, there's still things to enjoy. We try to talk about all the stories. I didn't mention Curtis, but he's recovering. He's fine.
We already said Curtis is gonna wiggle his toes next Friday.
Yeah, there you go. So all that stuff. So this is the best podcast out there, Matt and Kat, says Carolyn. Well, thank you very much, Carolyn, for your compliments. We really enjoy hearing that sort of stuff. It makes me feel good.
Really
it makes me feel like we made the right choice sitting here in front of you every week.
We love doing this silly podcast. We do.
We do. We do it nonstop. When have we not? It's the times we haven't done it is because like mom's a grandma,
Yeah, but there's hasn't been too many occasions where we haven't done it. But we try to carve out this time. We don't double book ourselves for this time, for one thing. But life does get in the way sometimes, and gratefully, usually the times that life's gotten in the way is gotten in the way for good reason.
Yeah. So anyway, it's been great fun. It's our pleasure to sit in front of you on YouTube every week, and I'll take a look at our audio library and fix whatever might be a problem if you guys don't have access to the last few episodes. Thanks so much, Carolyn. We like to do it. Snarky Drew is Drew Lightful. See that there's a good way of using somebody's name. I like Drew Lightful way better than Saddam.
Well, I always said that I was all for Drew coming back, but he's got to have an edge. Angry Drew has an edge, so I like him better.
Oh, goodness. We see Kat's grandkids less than we see the GH kids. Do you mean more? Show us the babies one day. We'll have to ask their parents if that's okay.
Yeah. But I will. I'll ask.
I'll have to ask and see if that's all right. You know how parents can be sometimes when it comes to kids' faces on the internet. Anyway, well, thank you, everybody. Gosh, just so many compliments coming through the chat. Thank you all so much for your kindness. Know what you can do? You can save your words. You can save your things, okay? What you can do is you can give me money instead.
No, you guys click like, subscribe, and then if you want to give Matthew $1, go ahead.
It's us, Ma. It's the channel. Can you imagine if I was able to upgrade to this? Like, look, so I figured out how to use a gradient. So this part is darker than that part. So this is a dark blue and that's a light blue, and that's kind of nice. But this text is super boring right here. It's also really big and kind of like in the wrong spot. There's a lot that I need to do. But in order to do that, I need to be able to upgrade my equipment, folks. And you can do that with your contributions if you so choose, if you want to. I'm not saying you have to. It's not an obligation. It's not required. We're still doing this for free every single week right here on YouTube. And we're going to continue to do so. And we're also going to bring you awesome free content like us. Yeah. Like Days for Dummies at 9 a.m. with Mommy and Angela. And then, of course, over the next 2 weeks, we're going to have 2 big soap stars on. And all of that is going to be absolutely free. The only thing that I ask from you is that you hit the red subscribe button. Yes. If you want to consider that payment, do it. But next week,
Oh, that.
January 28th at 11 a.m., right here on the 10th Floor Podcast, we are going to have Remington Hoffman, who played Lee Shin on Days of Our Lives. And
We
the
are.
following week, on February 4th at 11 a.m., from General Hospital, Tanisha Harper is going to be here.
She sure is.
Jordan Ashford to get into the details of what it's like to be Jordan. Jordan number 3 to step into somebody who has deep story. To be the third actress to pick up a prominent role. To have a relation, to play the mother. I'm very curious. How do you convincingly play the mother of someone who is 8 years younger than you? And that's not a critical question. That's a real question.
It's not.
What's that like? What is it like to basically have to play the mother of your peer, your age peer, essentially, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm curious. I'm curious to have that sort of stuff. Thank you very much just for subscribing, Tracy. I appreciate that. While you're clicking things, you can click the like button too.
Get to clicking.
Get to clicking. Get to clicking around. All right, folks, that's going to be it. Everybody get out of here. We're going to go back into the elevator. We're going to go back down to the first floor. We're going into the parking garage to seek out our cars so we can sit in them safely because we don't have we don't have Peter August, we don't have Shiloh, we don't have Victor Cassadine lurking around trying to hurt us.
Walk around and just hit the button over and over until we find the car.
Oh, there's a gentle, kindly, white-haired man standing in the parking room. Hello, are you trying to find your car? Maybe I can help you. There you go. Cyrus is there to help you find your vehicle.
Gosh, you guys.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everybody. Go into your cars. You're going to tune your radios to a very fixed podcast feed here in a couple of minutes to all of your favorite episodes of the 10th Floor, which you can find, again, on all your favorite podcasting platforms. If you cannot find it on your favorite podcasting platform, you can reach out to me on Twitter at 10th Floor GH or us on Twitter. She tweets too at 10th Floor GH. You join the soap conversation or whatever it is you want to talk to us about. I'm pretty good at replying to people that are nice to us. I'm really good at replying to people who are mean to us, too. Mm-hmm. So you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram as well. Send us an email, 10thfloorgh@gmail.com if you want. All of that stuff is available to you. And you can donate to the channel through Super Chat. It's the little heart with the dollar sign in it. You know, I think the minimum is $1.99, and as much as you want. Those proceeds go to the channel to help us upgrade equipment, to continue to buy server space for the audio platform, and to see where else we can go. There's all kinds of events that we would love to do, all sorts of interviews we would like to have, all sorts of trips we would like to take. Wouldn't it be great to go explore the hospital that's the picture of GH? We'd be able to do that through contributions to the podcast. You guys can make that sort of stuff a reality if you so choose, if you can, if you want to.
If you can, if you want to.
Exactly. But we also have a little bit of merch. There's printify.me/10th floor, which I'll leave a link somewhere to. Where there's mug, there's t-shirt, there's all kinds of stuff that you could get for yourself if you like. What else is there, Ma? I don't think there's anything else we need to promote. It. Well, join us next week because, you know, we're going to have 2 full weekends of just us. So,
yeah, we have. Yeah.
So show up at, you know, maybe around 9 or 10 a.m. next week. Hang out with us before Remington. Hang out with us after Remington. And then do the same thing next week. Hang out with us before
we are going to be on here for the next 2 Sundays.
Thank you very much, Dan. Dan donating $5.
Thank you, Dan.
To the channel today. I appreciate that, Dan. Thank you so much. Matt, what was that merch address? I'll tweet it out, Kelly. Just take a look at Twitter. I don't know. It's somewhere, and I want to be accurate.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned throughout my life is don't pretend to try to remember. Just write it down and look at it later. That's what I've learned in my adult life. Because, you know, when somebody's like, hey, this thing, and then you answer confidently and you're wrong, that's a problem.
You don't need to make an early mistake.
Even then, you know, like in a job environment, they're like, hey, you know, what are the contents on this container? I write it down and I go reference what I wrote down. Because if I'm like, oh, it's definitely 3-year filter sets, and then I'm wrong, that's a problem.
It is, huh? Why let things escalate? Why?
Exactly. So anyway, that's it. I'm rambling at this point. I need to get out of here. How you
We're
feeling?
gonna all get carbon monoxide poisoning. We've all been standing around with these cars already
I know,
started.
just idling.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, go spend some time with your families. I've been Matt,
I've been Kat.
and we'll catch you next time right here on the 10th floor. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, guys.